So one day I was looking through YouTube, kind of looking at videos about the homeless, as I often do. I often try to stay connected to those who are suffering and struggling out there. It gives you an indication of where the economy is, for one, but it also gives you an understanding and indication of where we are as a people. When you can look and see those that are suffering, you can kind of see where the country is as a whole. So one day I was looking at a lot of homeless videos from here in Austin. A gentleman goes around, he does videos for the homeless. And one of the things I picked up on is some homeless folks actually live out of their cars. And so a lot of homeless folks live out of their car. Duh. Homeless is you don't have a home. And so many people live out of their cars. But it struck me at some of the stories of folks were saying how they went about their day. You know, they lived in their car at night and slept and everything, but in the daytime, they would get out and try to make money, standing on corners with the sign, begging, whatever. Anything to try to get some money for the homeless out there. So it was quite interesting to see that, to know that these folks had vehicles and they would beg for money for gas, beg for money for food, just to try to make ends meet. I mean, homeless is not just one thing. It's not just one category of homelessness. You know, homelessness is a lot of different struggling balled up into one. There's just a lot of different horrible things going on when you are homeless. But on the same day, what was interesting is that one day, on the same day, that afternoon, I took a ride to go and get some food at a restaurant somewhere. And I came up to a stop sign. And as I came up to the stop sign, I looked to the right and I saw a gentleman in a vehicle. It was an old beat up truck. It was an old beat up truck. And he was fanning. I saw that he was fanning. And I tell you, it didn't even dawn on me that this guy was homeless. It took a few minutes for me to figure it out, because I looked in the back of the truck and it was just full of just all types of junk and just clutter. And the tops had bicycle parts on it. That truck was barely making it. It was probably a 1970s truck, spitting out black smoke. It was hot as hell here in Texas a couple of days ago. He had a fan swinging it. But what I picked up on the fan was, it was a piece of cardboard that said, please, anything, please give me at least 25 cents. That's what the cardboard sign said. And it kind of broke my heart to see that. And just to, in my head, just to wonder what this gentleman has been going through, for how long he has been going through that. I'm someone who believes that we should have compassion for the homeless. I know there are a lot of strong views on the homeless. There are going to be strong views on the homeless. But at the end of the day, they're still human beings. And so I just ask that we have grace and compassion for those who can't find their way. And it's not all about mental health. It's not all about mental health. It's not all about drug abuse. Some of these folks were just one paycheck away from being homeless. And ever since 2020, we saw it just quadruple in terms of the amount of homeless people out on the streets. And so don't always think it's just because these are bad people out there. These are just people that found themselves in bad situations. So my hat's always to the homeless out there. I'm going to continue to do what I can for the homeless and hope to increase that in the coming years. But yeah, it's a real crisis out there all across America, not just in California. We saw what was going on in California, and people were upset, saying that California didn't seem to have a handle on their homeless populations, when people really didn't look in their own backyards, because there's homeless population within every city. You know, oftentimes they're out of sight, out of mind, and people don't even know they're there, you know. And oftentimes some people don't want to know they're there. Some people have an issue with just seeing homeless. But what about being homeless? You have an issue with seeing homeless? What about the issue with the plight of the homeless? You know, you got to sometimes have compassion and humanity for these folks. Don't always look down on them and think they're just the lowest thing on the earth. These people are struggling out there. They're suffering. Yes, some out there have mental health issues. Yes, some have substance abuse issues. Yes, some out there are, have criminal elements to them. They just are people in society who don't want to abide or, conform to laws, so they tend to live like that. So there are a lot of different elements within the homeless population out there. But of all the elements out there, one thing that's common among them all is they are still human beings. And so I just ask that we have humanity and grace for those who found themselves in unfortunate situations. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.